Hello, everybody. My name is Chris. I am the comic vet. Well, let's take these off. I don't want to look pretentious or like some sort of douchebag. Anyways, I see my friends Las Cruces, 1971, and the artist known as Soul Twice have joined me. I got a quick question for you guys. I have my phone set up in front of my vents, so I have my air conditioning going. Does the audio sound fine? Do you hear me clearly, or are you hearing like the air conditioning going? I just don't want my phone to overheat. My phone seems to be notorious whenever it's a beautiful day that it overheats whenever I go live. So I'm just curious if you guys can hear me clearly. And Las Cruces, I hope you're well, sir. And Las Cruces says, sounds good. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. And sound great. Thank you, Soul Twice. And I hope everything is good for you at home. And Las Cruces, I hope that everything is good for you in beautiful New Mexico. It's one of the few states I have yet to be in, or at least touch down in an airport. I have been in many, many airports across the United States. But anyways, it's 24 degrees Celsius here in Ontario. That's about 72 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you who live in the United States. It's just a beautiful day. It's blue skies. We got some cloud here. So yeah, it seems like it's going to be a good day to show the comic books that I just picked up. And I'm literally outside my LCS. I guess it's more this way. I could probably put my window down and touch the side of the building that it's in. Let's see. X11 Bravo, thank you for joining, my man. I hope that you're doing well. And Soul Twice, thank you very much for your kind words. I appreciate you very much. And James Willie. James Willie is based out on the Pacific side of Canada, and while he's here, I'm just going to say to those who have joined me already, I don't know if he's announced it or whatever, but I'm going to spoil the hell out of it. A little while ago, James Willie reached out to me and asked me if I participated in the Taskmaster first appearance torpedo box, mystery box sale that they did. As some of you know, I do participate in a lot of torpedo mystery boxes. They are generally featured on my Mystery Box Mondays when I do Mystery Box Monday. And I decided not to go in on the Taskmaster one just because there's been a lot of money spent with Torpedo. Now, Torpedo has lowered the price of most of their mystery boxes, generally around to about 25 bucks a pop. However, to get it shipped here to Canada, it usually costs me more in US funds to get it shipped than what it is for the price of the mystery box. So I'm very picky about the ones that I'm getting in on right now. Anyways, with that said, I have won 4 times with Torpedo, 2 of them being grand prizes, 2 of them just being minor keys. With that said, James did reach out and ask me if I participated in the Taskmaster, and I said no. I passed on that one. Why do you ask? Well, James Willie went and got himself the first appearance of Taskmaster and won it through Torpedo Comics. So yes, Torpedo is not a scam, everyone. It is possible to win. I've done it a handful of times. James Willie just went out and got himself a big key box. So James, congratulations, my man, hitting that Taskmaster first appearance. That is a key book. It's never going to go down. And yeah, it's congratulations, man. I don't know what else to say. It's just good to hear that, you know, people in our community are winning those Torpedo grand prizes. So yeah. Flash by Night Station, sir. Hope that you're doing well. Another fellow Spider-Man fan. Aggressively relaxing. Happy New Comic Book Day to you. I have to wait until I get home Friday. And X11 Bravo saying hello. So yeah, New Comic Book Day for me was pretty good. I spent above what my budget was going to be, I'll be honest. There was a few books that my LCS wasn't able to grab last week and the week before, but he had ordered them in for me, and they showed up today. So, you know, I can't say no to a book that I obviously asked him to bring in specifically for me. And yeah, so we'll get into that into a moment. I just want to pay attention to the chat. James Willie, it was his first mystery box. I opened them. Yep. Well, congratulations, man. Again, Taskmaster. I know that Torpedo has done Taskmaster as a GP, I believe, twice before. I'm not sure if the grand prizes in the previous times they've done them, if they were slabbed or if they were just raw books. The first one that I won, the biggest one that I won, was the Hulk 180. The first cameo of everyone's favorite Canadian superhero, Wolverine. It was an 8.5, but it was actually the Mark Jewelers insert variant, so it's pretty rare. It's a very nice graded 8.5. It's worth, you know. And the other big grand prize that I won was the first appearance of the Hobgoblin in Spider-Man. If I'm right, I believe that's ASM 251. I might be off, but yeah, it's the first Hobgoblin, and it was not graded, and it was actually missing the tattoos that's supposed to be a part of the insert. So with that being said, if I were to get it slabbed by CBC, it would come back in a green label, not a blue. With that said, I've also won the minor keys of the Masters of the Universe first appearance and DC Comics Presents Superman and the Masters of the Universe, and I also won the first appearance of the Teen Titans. And that was I believe that's also a DC Comics Presents that features Green Lantern on the cover hurting Superman, if I'm right. Either way, those are my four big books. I have gotten books that I kind of feel are like minor keys in amongst the mystery boxes. One comes to mind, it's the Detective Comics Joker Train cover that I'm actually giving away as a part of the Small Town Collectibles Grow Together initiative, his race for 1,000 subscribers. When he hits 1,000 subscribers, all you have to do is go to the video that I made last week or the week before, pardon me, and put in hashtag The Dawn, and yeah, you could win that famous Detective Comics Joker Train cover, and that was out of a Torpedo mystery box. So yeah, they do slide in some good books. Some are, like I said, prizes, some are grand prizes. But yeah, it's nice to see that, you know, people that I would consider friends of mine, like James, has turned around and hit big grand prizes. And Taskmaster's first appearance in the Avengers, let's admit, is a big prize, and it is a condition sensitive book with that green background. And Chip Getler, my man, it's Chip Getler, the man who goes by the White Shadow, the man who changes his logo more often than Beyonce has costume changes in a concert. No, I'm just joking. Chip is located in one of my favorite American cities. He's outside Chicago, and what I believe everyone considers Chicago land. And yeah, I'm glad that you joined me, Chip. I hope that you're firing up a cigar on your lunch hour. But yeah, let's take a look at some of the books that I picked up. Like I said, I went a little bit over my budget, so I am going to be having a lot of reading in my very near future. And as always, I like to start with the independents before I get into the big two. And yeah, we're going to start with what I feel is a fantastic cover. I actually didn't see this cover, or it may have been my hot pick for this week, I'll be honest. It's Spawn 320 in Todd's celebration for basically the year of Spawn. This is a awesome cover. I am not sure of the artist, so I know it's not Todd's work because most of us can recognize Todd's work right away. But it's Bjorn Berens. Bjorn Berens. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I do see BB written in the bottom of the corner. But yeah, this is a very, very cool cover. All right. On to what is known as most of you would know, my favorite independent series right now is Something is Killing the Children. However, this particular arc is a little bit slower. Some would say that they don't like it. I like it just because I'm glad that we have Something is Killing the Children again. I wasn't a big fan of such a large break that they did earlier this spring, but knowing that that they're doing a subsequent second title starting this fall, I can see why they took the break. They wanted to get that story arc kicked off the ground. Anyways, I picked up just one cover of Something is Killing the Children, issue number 18 by JTIV. Get that steering wheel out of the way. There we go. But yes, I'm hoping this particular issue really starts to pick up. Apparently, we're supposed to be having Erica's initiation into the House of Slaughter at this point. And so I'm hoping that we have some action, because it's the one thing that we've kind of been missing over the last 2 issues, other than the flashbacks of Erica's family being slaughtered, for lack of a better term. Hit the drum roll now, right? So anyways, yeah, Something is Killing the Children, 18. This is the first time in a very long time where on the Sunday show that I put out with Mark from Legion of Comics, Two Cool Guys, Two Hot Picks, that this was not my hot pick. Usually Something is Killing the Children is always my hot pick, because I'm very, very much looking forward to it. But based off the last 2 issues and the pacing of it, I decided to go with my gut, and I'll get to what my hot pick was a little bit later. But yes, Something is Killing the Children, 18. Fingers crossed that the arc picks up, and at least that we get a little bit more action. Okay. No, sir, I do not spoil on Wednesdays. I do not spoil on Wednesdays. You have to tune in to Mark's channel Sunday night at Week's End, where I don't even have to say it. Soul Twice, you're a regular on that show, my man. You know I'm not going to spoil it here. And Chips just said, my shop did not have Something is Killing the Children yet, but it's on my pull, so I will go back tonight and get it. I heard 18 was a great read. Let's just leave it at that. I'm hoping that you are correct, my friend. I am hoping you are correct. A little while ago, well, I guess 5 months ago, I said to everyone in one of my new Comic Book Day pickups, pick up Proctor Valley Road issue number 1. Get on this train. This book is good. It's going to be picking up steam. I see this book kind of being optioned. It's going to be terrific. At least pick it up for spec value. Well, issue number 5 came out, and I believe this is the end of the limited series. It's by Grant Morrison. I did pick it up. Well, guess what issue number 1 is doing? It's going up. I believe in a raw form, the book is somewhere averaging between $20 and $30 US, which is a big gap, or big jump from the $3.99 or $4.99 cover price. This book, issue number 1, is still setting on comic book shop shelves. Do yourself a favor, pick up a copy of number 1, even if you don't want to read it. Pick it up for spec value. It is Boom Studios. We all know that Boom Studios has agreements with a bunch of different studio houses in Hollywood. Grant Morrison is a respected writer and a respected name around the circles. Proctor Valley Road, I'm telling you, the arc will transfer beautifully to film. This is Proctor Valley Road, issue 5. Like I said, I believe this is the conclusion of it. I have quietly enjoyed it, and it's not a book that I'm preaching everyone should go out and read. How I Was Something is Killing the Children, but this is a fantastic book too. Quietly, if you're not in the game for spec, or you don't want to go pick up number 1, when this book comes out in a couple months in a trade, pick it up. It'll be worth the read. I promise. Now, I mentioned earlier that my LCS didn't have a particular book that I wanted in the last 2 weeks, and he ordered it in for me. And let's just say, oh, I got to give a shout out to another talented artist that's now joining me, Austin LeMay. My man, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping in to say hello. Hope you and your family are doing well, sir. The book that I was hoping was going to be on the shelves a little while ago, which was not, was Ordinary Gods, issue number 1, under the Image flag. Now, I heard mixed reviews. I heard that this book is fantastic, and I heard that a lot of people thought it was just a little pretentious. Either way, I'm going to check it out, and if I enjoy it, I will be picking up number 2, and I'll have it put onto my pull list. But like I said, he had to order it in for me, and I know that it was out a little while ago. So I'm hoping Ordinary Gods is anything but ordinary. Jeez, I can do better, right? Anyways, Ordinary Gods. I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping that it's really good. All right. Let's switch over to Marvel. And as always, when I start with Marvel, we're going to talk about the franchise. This is issue 71 of The Amazing Spider-Man's Continuing the Sinister War. Now, with that said, I picked up the Sinister War issue #1, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Was a lot left on the table? Meh. I gotta admit, I thought the story was just okay, but I really like the fact that Nick Spencer incorporated so many different rogue gallery or villains from the rogue gallery that Spider-Man has. And we all know that Spider-Man has one of the most extensive rogue galleries that there is in comic books. I think the only one that can rival him would be Batman, and Batman fans would probably say the complete opposite. You know, Batman has the most extensive rogue gallery. The only one that compares to him would be Spider-Man. Well, I'm a Spider-Man fan, so I got to put Spider-Man first. However, the Sinister War was off to a good start. But to each their own. This one is supposed to continue it. Again, I'm hoping for good things. I'm expecting average, but again, it's kind of hard not to mess up any kind of Sinister Six storyline. And we actually have two different teams taking on Spider-Man with a bunch of villains in between the two teams, topping it all off. So we'll see how Nick Spencer goes out, whether he goes out with a whipper, whether he goes out with a bang. Either way, this September, Nick Spencer is gone. An artist who I feel is just okay would be Peach Momoko. However, the Amazing Spider-Man issue 71 has a variant, and when I saw it, it just kind of caught my eye, and I knew I was going to pick it up, so I picked it up. The Amazing Spider-Man issue 71 with cover work by Peach Momoko. It is the Ghost Spider herself, Spider-Gwen. And I know that she's been doing some side profile headshots that Marvel has been doing over the last couple of weeks. This one I just thought was great. I really liked the watercolor work that she did here. There is a lot of stuff that Peach puts out that it's not for me. And I think most of you that are watching right now would agree with me. But there is some stuff that Peach puts out that is just eye-catching and very, very nice. This is one of those. And I like the simplicity of not using a heavy background. And yeah, the watercolors for me, when it comes to Gwen here, works. So I went ahead and I picked it up. My LCS just charged me a regular cover price. So yeah, I like to spoil myself now and then when it comes to Peter and Peter's comic books. And speaking of Peter, I went and I picked up Amazing Fantasy issue #1. It's a 5-issue limited series. It is done by Canadian Kari Katari Andrews. He has done Spider-Man before in the past. And most recently, he did an independent on AWA where the main character was much like Spider-Man. My God, Erratic. That was it. And that was actually a fun little book too, basically where a teenager gets a superpower for 12 or 15 minutes, and then the power is gone, basically kind of once a day, and it's what he does with the superpowers during that time is what basically the storyline is. Anyways, Kari Andrews has returned to Marvel, and he's now helming Marvel Comics Amazing Fantasy, and this is issue #1 of 5. And yeah, he did do the cover work for this. And yeah, it's really got that Conan Barbarian feel to it. So we'll see where this goes. Now I believe this book spotlights Spider-Man, Captain America, and Thor. I believe there's 3 characters that this particular book spotlights. Oh, pardon me, Captain America, Spider-Man, and Black Widow. Either way, I'm hoping for good things. Kari Andrews, for me, and I'm saying this because he's Canadian, but he actually, I do enjoy his work as a writer. He also did an Iron Fist limited series 4 or 5 years ago, and he was the first writer and artist to actually make Iron Fist's bones inside of his hands glow whenever he were to power up, and I thought that was particularly cool. And it was so well received that when Netflix created the Iron Fist TV show, they actually used Kari's idea of actually having his bones glow inside of his hands, not just the fist itself glowing. Small stuff, but still, hey, when you like a certain writer, you're happy to see accomplishments cross over to the big screen when some of those characters make it so. So Kari Andrews, Amazing Fantasy 15. I'm hoping for good things. And yeah, so I also picked up annual issue number 1 of Thor. It's continuing the Infinite Destiny storyline that's been crossing over a lot of the major Marvel characters' annuals. I know Spider-Man, Iron Man, just to name a couple, have been a part of the Infinite Destinies. This is issue 5 of 8 when it comes to Infinite Destinies. And yeah, the story's been okay, just okay. The Infinite Destinies part, that is. So yeah, let's see. Sold Twice in, that is pretty. So I'm presuming he's talking about this, or pardon me, he's probably talking about this. But I didn't buy any of her headshots, but I will buy that one today. I agree. The headshot ones. Sorry, I'm kind of backtrack. I just want to catch up with Sold Twice here. Yeah, I've been leaving them on the shelves myself. But when I saw Gwen there on the ASM cover, and that my LCS was going to just basically give it to me for normal cover price, not mark it up because it's technically a variant, I decided to pull the trigger. If I ever meet Peach Momoko one day at a con, well, that'll be the book that I'll probably get signed. And Flash by Night, yeah, Erratic. And that was just a 5-issue limited series. And like I said, it was done on by AWA Upshot. And I was kind of nervous that maybe Kari had left Marvel or whatever. But since that book came out today, I'm glad to see that Mr. Andrews is still with Marvel. I have 2 more Marvel books. I have been reading this, and I've been collecting it ever since issue number 1, including the spec books that came out a little bit earlier. I believe 6 and 7 were spec books, but I picked up issue number 9 of Black Widow. I believe this is Kelly Thompson that does this book, and it's been very, very good. Let me tell you, it's been very, very good. If you're not reading Black Widow, it's one of those times where I would say you're actually missing out. It's actually very, very good. So yeah, Black Widow issue number 9. This is a pretty cool cover. As someone who rides a motorcycle, it's cool to see comic book characters on motorcycles as well. My bike is not that kind of bike. I ride a cruiser. But anyways, yeah, Black Widow issue number 9. And the final Marvel book that I picked up it's a hot seat book for me. Issue number 1 was my hot pick of the week last month. I thought the book was just average to good. It was a little controversial. It did pick up some steam in social media because Dean Cain, the former Superman actor, made a comment about it. But the book I'm talking about, as you probably know by now, is The United States of Captain America. It's a limited series where Cap and Sam are crossing over the United States on the trail of someone who's stolen Steve's shield. And each community that they visit, there's someone who's picked up the mantle of being Captain America for their community to help out the less fortunate. Issue number 1, we found the Captain America of the community of the railways, where a young teenager was picking up the mantle, and there was an assassination attempt on this young guy. Anyways, Dean Cain didn't like it. I'm not going to get into why he didn't like it. I thought it was average to good, and I thought that I would give issue number 2 a go. So I picked up issue number 2 of The United States of Captain America. If this book is not better than what issue number 1 was, I will sadly have to leave it on the shelf. I am a Cap fan. But this is The United States of Captain America, issue number 2. Again, they're on motorcycles. Yeah, here we have Cap and Sam, and we have, I'm presuming, the Captain America, whatever community that they're visiting here. It seems to be a young African-American woman. She does have a shield, and she is in full costume. She does look pretty cool, I'll give her that. So yeah, we'll see where this story goes. It is a Chris Cantwell story. Uh, Switching to DC, I did pick up issue 776 of Wonder Woman. This is a two-story book. There is a short story on the tail end of the book featuring the adventures of young Diana. Anyways, I have been enjoying Wonder Woman's last couple of arcs. She is a book that I do pick up every month. And this is the cover. It's a pretty bright cover. You know, Diana kind of just being lackadaisy and looking like she may be that she might be in trouble with some imps or some sprites. But anyways, or fairies. Wonder Woman 776. I agree, and that's the whole reason, Flash, why it was my hot pick a month ago for issue number 1. The whole story on how Steve loses his shield, I thought was a little weak, but I did like the fact that Sam was available to help Steve, and that they're now picking up on the case, and it's kind of like detective work. There is a sniper involved in the story, so we'll see where it goes from there. But I do like the fact that that there are people emulating, like you just said, Captain America to help their communities. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. As we all know, Cap is someone that, you know, his character should be emulated. On to two cool guys, two hot picks. This past Sunday, myself and Mark from Legion of Comics, we both normally we always give two picks on why we feel you may want to consider picking up the books that we're recommending. It could be for spec value, it could be a number 1, it could be a brand new arc, it could be just a hot cover. Mark's hot pick was because it's a number 1 and it's a character that he thoroughly enjoys. And the book that he picked, was from DC, issue number 1 of Superman, Son of Kal-El. It's a story of where Jonathan Kent now becomes Superman, and is brought to us by Tom Taylor. So this particular cover, I believe it's just a normal cover 8, but it is a cover swipe of Superman's first solo title, because as we all know, Superman debuted in Action Comics and was in Action Comics for a while before he actually got his first issue number 1 in his own solo title. And this is a cover swipe, or an homage, to that particular issue. So yes, this is Jonathan now getting his own solo title, and it's being called Superman Son of Kal-El. I am looking forward to this. I do enjoy Jonathan. I'm more of a Kal-El fan, I'll be honest. But yes, I do enjoy Jonathan, and we'll see where he goes with this particular issue. So yeah, there are a handful of variants that are out there. There's a beautiful one by Jen Bartel again. I believe it's a 1 in 25. I decided to skip out on that this week just because, like I mentioned earlier, I did go over my budget, and well, a 1 in 25 here is usually 20 to 25 bucks. But with that said, Mark's hot pick, Superman, issue number 1, Son of Kal-El. I'm looking forward to this story very much. My hot pick was one that I definitely struggled with. I really thought of maybe having Black Widow. As normal, I thought of having something that's killing the children. And I even thought of just a Spawn, because I'm really enjoying how Spawn's being written right now. But when I saw what Lee Bermejo did, I decided to make my hot pick a cover buy. You may not agree with me, but to each their own. But I have a hard time not liking anything right now that Lee Bermejo is putting out. In my opinion, Lee Bermejo is the master of the Dark Knight, especially over the last 2 years when it comes to cover work. My hot pick from this past Sunday for Today New Comic Book Days, Detective Comics 1040, the B cover, strictly because Lee Bermejo did it, and this is the cover. It's a dark cover, so it's probably going to be kind of glary, that's a word. But yes. You know what? Let's just shrink that banner altogether. Boom. Detective Comics 1040. Here we have The Dark Knight Batman in chains, locked up in jail. Agree with me or disagree with me that Lee Bermejo is the best Batman cover artist out there right now? That's fine. But the one thing that you should be able to all agree with me is this is a beautiful, beautiful cover. And that's the reason why it was my hot pick. Now, I have been steadily reading Detective Comics. The story arc of Old Money versus Old Money continues in this, but apparently in this particular issue, Bruce Wayne is locked up in jail, at least for the weekend. So I'm believing that's why Lee Bermejo did the cover this way. Just found out a little bit about the arc and decided to put Bruce Wayne in full costume, slap him in jail, but chain him to the roof and somewhat to the walls as well, and then put him in a very angry pose. But yes, again, Lee Bermejo is my hot pick one more time, because I've done Lee Bermejo before when it comes to I've chosen Lee Bermejo before when it comes to my hot pick on Two Cool Guys, Two Hot Picks. So yes, strictly for cover work alone, Detective Comics 1040. This fantastic Lee Bermejo cover. So yeah, that's basically my haul. So let me recap. Again, Detective Comics 1040. It's a beautiful cover. This very cool homage to Superman issue #1 from the 40s. This is DC issue #1, Superman, Son of Kal-El, featuring Jonathan Kent in his first solo ongoing, I believe, story. Miss O, thank you for that. Las Cruces, thank you, sir, for your kind words. Wonder Woman 776. I said it before and I'll say it again. I'm quietly enjoying Wonder Woman's current storyline and her last 2 arcs. It may be a book that you want to consider picking up, at least with the next arc, if you're not interested in hopping in right now. The United States of Captain America, issue #2. This is a hot seat book for me. I'm hoping this book picks up a little bit from the last issue, and we'll see where it goes from there. Sticking with a motorcycle theme cover, it's Black Widow, issue #9. A very good series that everyone should be reading. There have been some spec books already in this particular series with some first appearances. The annual for Thor, issue #1, continuing the Infinite Destiny storyline. This is actually a pretty cool cover itself, too. I always like to see Thor swinging Mjolnir. Another fantastic cover by Peach Momoko. It's a variant for ASM 71. Kari Andrews' Amazing Fantasy, issue #1. 5-issue limited series. Amazing Spider-Man by Reader Copy, issue 71, continuing the Sinister War. A book that was released a little while ago, but finally it showed up at my LCS for me. Ordinary Gods from Image, issue #1. And no, that's not Kraven the Hunter over here. I do like Kraven. I believe this is the conclusion of Proctor Valley Road, issue #5 from Boom Studios, written by Grant Morrison. Please pick up issue #1 if it's sitting on your LCS. It is quietly in the last week or so gone from just normal cover price to almost a $30 book raw. Proctor Valley Road. For the first time in a very long time, this was not my hot pick for this past week. However, it is still going to be the one that I'm going to read first. It is, of course, Something is Killing the Children, issue 18, where we see Erica's initiation into the House of Slaughter. Spawn, issue 320, in this fantastic cover. Let's just be honest, Spawn has been putting out fantastic covers. this entire year. Todd McFarlane seems to be hiring the best of the best when it comes to artists and giving them an opportunity to shine brightly. And yeah, Spawn 320 is no different from what he's been doing earlier this year. Well, Comic Army, that's all I got for you. For those of you that have stuck around for basically the length of this live stream, I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. More importantly, if you haven't participated in my giveaway, there is a video for the Small Town Collectibles Grow Together initiative. Jimmy Kerr is going to try and push towards 1,000 subscribers. He's reached out to a handful of channels to help him. I am going to be giving away Detective Comics from the early 80s, the very famous Joker Train cover for that particular book. All you have to do is go into that video, into the comments, make sure that you're subscribed, hit that like button, and put in hashtag the Dawn. And yeah, don't put in hashtag the don't. Drop that team, just put hashtag the Dawn. And while you're still here, please consider hitting that like button for this live stream. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I'm going to let most of you get back, or I'm going to let all of you get back to your lunch hours and get back to work or get ready for work or whatever it is that you're going to be doing today. And yeah, I hope that I spotlighted a few books for you all. And if there was something that you didn't know that was coming out that you just saw, go ahead and pick it up. And if there's something that I feel if there's something that you feel I missed out on, please go ahead and leave it in the comments. I always check my comments. I always try to respond to every single one that gets left on my channel. Anyways, with that said, everyone, thanks again for your time. Until I see you next time, my name is Chris. I'm the Comic Vet. Take care.